All righty, let's jump into it. Thank you for joining the Twincast. It's the podcast where business and faith are our foundation, and a good laugh is always on the house. We're identical twin sisters navigating the real estate world one deal at a time, and I'm Sheree, your go-to lender, helping you with all things finance. And I'm Nicole, your favorite realtor, helping you find the perfect place to call home. The Twincast starts now. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about it. So you just closed on your home. What's next? There's a lot of things that are next. So I put together about 10 things that I wanted to talk to you about from the mortgage side, and Nicole will talk to you about those 10 things on the real. Do you have 10? How many do you have? I wouldn't necessarily say 10, but there's at least five good things that y'all need to know. Okay, so 5 and 10, 15. You got 15 good pieces of advice that will save you money, or just good things to remember. Money and time. Money and time. All right, hit it. All right, so the first one is file your tax exemptions. Go to the tax office and make sure within the first 60 days that you file your tax exemptions, whether that's your homestead, you have your senior exemptions, like your over 65, disabled veteran exemptions. I mean, those are going to save you money in your monthly payment, right? For sure, they will. And so some of those exemptions are more than others. Like, of course, if you're a disabled veteran, I always get excited about that because Texas, we take care of our veterans and we provide a pretty big discount on those exemptions. And so people ask me that when they're closing. If you're 100%, we close you with no property taxes. So if you're 100% disabled, we close you that way, but you still have to go file your exemptions and we will prepare some of that paperwork for you. And literally all you have to do is go file. So you'll have to update your driver's license to do that. But those
Yeah, just
are important.
update your driver's license, but it's a fairly simple process. I mean, considering it's going to save you quite a bit in money over a long time, a period of time,
For sure.
but you can actually do some of that stuff online. So take advantage of the opportunity to do it online. And let me see, what else do we have next? Shop your insurance and your utilities. I don't think, I mean, I've lived in my new home for going on 3 years and I've not changed any of my utility information. I haven't changed my
Homeowners insurance, you kind of just kept it the
yeah.
way it was when we set you up, huh?
hmm So I have recently been thinking about changing my insurance, homeowners insurance, and I feel like from what I understand, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it can make a big deal. You want to just make sure that your coverages are still in line. You know, there's a 1% deductible and can go up from there. But so you want to make sure that your coverage is right. I always tell people I'm not, the insurance expert. So you want to talk to somebody that you know and trust, and that way they can guide you on, what best works for you and your situation and coverage that you may need.
Okay, so we need to do that. You can also do your electricity. You can
Oh, for sure. Electricity. I mean, there's several, I mean, depending on where you're at, there may be only specific electric providers,
mhm.
but a lot of times there's options there. So you definitely check into it to see if you can save some money because $100 means a lot these days.
Word. So you can do that. Then you also need to, now I did not think of this till recently, having you need to locate your main shutoff for your water. Now, why would you need to know that?
So I don't know why.
I mean, if your sprinkler backs up, I mean, if you have guests over and something happens in the bathroom, I mean, you never know. But those always happen at the most inconvenient time. But if you have got a home inspection, which you did, if you worked with me, you did get a home inspection on your property. So you can look at your home inspection, just know where it's at, just in case something comes up, you know where that's at, and you don't have to stress out while you have water gushing out places. You
Mhm.
know where it's at, and you can guide someone to help you through the process. You can tell them, hey, my main shutoff is over there, or you can do it, whatever, but it's a good piece of information to know. Um, the other thing is probably, which I have not done either. So this information is going out to y'all, but also a reminder to me that changing your smoke detectors,
Okay.
changing those because those also go off around 2 a.m. or so. When you're sleeping and you're half asleep, you really don't know where a ladder's at. You're not looking for
Not
one.
sure where you're at,
Yeah, you're like mid,
Wake up.
yeah, mid sleep and trying to find a ladder and all that stuff is not the greatest. So if you change those regularly, annually, if you change the batteries annually, then you'll be good to go there. Also, you can set a reminder. I'm just trying to be efficient these days.
And
So set a
heard
reminder.
that.
Set a reminder also for your HVAC, the
Yeah,
filters.
that's
Those, and
true.
now I am terrible at that, but that's HVAC is a very costly piece of equipment if you have to replace
Yeah,
that.
like $10,000. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it's just like your oil change on your car. If you don't ever change the oil on your car, how long is your car going to last? Is it, the wise decision is to change your air filter so that you don't have to spend $10,000, just like go get a $40 oil change so you don't have to get a new car. So,
Yes.
yes,
So change your air filters monthly. You can get that done monthly. You can set a reminder on your phone to do that. In fact, while you're at the store, just purchase a few extra so that you don't have the excuse not to replace them. You have set it up on a reminder and you also have backups. So do that, and that's going to probably save you a headache and all the things in between.
for sure. I like it. Those
What
are
else you
your.
got for us? Those are my tidbits. I think those are super important, save you money and time.
Okay, so from the mortgage perspective, I say right after closing, be aware. You hear this from me, you'll hear it from your closer, but you're going to get a lot of scam mail. So they're going to say, pay me $100, pay me X amount of dollars, and I'll get you a deed, I'll get you a new survey, I'll get you. You shouldn't have to be paying anybody after closing for anything. So if you get that, that documentation, you can call me, you can call your real estate agent, but we're going to advise you disregard, read the fine print at the bottom because I have had customers that didn't call me and they said, "Oh my God, Sharia, just paid $100 and now I got a message saying that I need to do another." And I'm like, "You don't need to do any of that." So just make sure you're not spending money after closing. If you are, you need to be calling your agent or your lender. So that's one piece of information I have for you. Um, I would say you want to enroll in online access to, so for your first payment, you're going to usually make it through the mail, but after that, you're going to get a notification that you will be able to set up online payments. Do it. Set up online payments. Please do not get into the mailing in payments. I mean, probably most of you don't do that. But I wouldn't advise I wouldn't advise making payments on through the mail or over the phone. You can do that, but it's just more efficient. Make your payments online. We have great easy access. Click a button. In fact, the next thing that I would tell you to do is then set up automatic payments. Guys, set it up. Don't worry about it. Make your payment and move on. Um, what I would also add to that is make one additional payment a year. That
Mhm.
will save you 7 years in your mortgage, thousands of dollars. Yes, Nicole, you think that's a great idea?
I do think that is a great idea, but I also would like to include and ask your expert opinion. You're saying make one monthly payment.
Mhm.
I'm sorry,
One
one
extra.
one extra payment annually.
Mhm.
So, can that payment be split up?
Yeah,
Divide your monthly payment into 12 and just increase it, go to the principal. Can you do it that way instead of saying, okay, well, if my mortgage is $3,000, instead of paying just 3,000, just split it up. Can you do
you
that?
can. All you have to do is make one extra payment to principal. So taxes and insurance aside, I don't care about taxes and insurance at this particular moment.
Mhm.
Only care that you're making a principal and interest payment. And some people say, hey, hey, I get a bonus at the end of the year. I'm going to make that payment when I get my bonus. Or, hey, I know that it will probably be easier to set up a biweekly payment. Set up a biweekly payment. It doesn't matter to me how you make the payment or when you make the payment, just that you do make the payment.
Okay.
Okay, set that up thousands of dollars, 7 years off your mortgage, easy breezy. One extra payment, budget, plan it, do it. Okay, so that's what I would advise you there. I would also kind of understand that being a homeowner, if you're a new homeowner or not, you need a budget for maintenance. Like you had mentioned, your air filters. You had mentioned, getting your AC serviced and doing those routine checks because they come up. And
Mhm.
sometimes those costs, there are going to be costs associated with it. It's inevitable that you will have homeowners that's just a part of the deal. You're
Mhm.
going to have those expenses. So I try to tell people budget 1 to 2% for those expenses. Because they're going to come up, and you want to have kind of a reserve so that you can say, I'm going to replace my air filters. I'm going to get my AC service. I've got to check my septic. I got to have these different things that are going to come up, and just have the money budgeted appropriately so that you don't have to skimp out and pay later. Okay. So that's what I would advise there. Also, your closing documents. Yes, they can be obtained again. You can go to the title company and we can usually get those documents, but the survey, sometimes that's not.
Now you're in my lane.
Well, sis, I had to mention it because you didn't say it.
Okay.
Go ahead, speak
Speak
on
on
it.
it.
What? Okay,
Okay,
go
I'm gonna
ahead.
speak on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please keep your survey. So when you get ready to call me to help you sell your home, we can have that survey, an existing survey, because the additional documentation to have it resurveyed is about $600. So, and that fee has went up. It was closer to about 475 when I first started real estate about 13 years ago, and now it's up to about 600. And that's if you're just, a regular standard lot. Now, if you're getting into something with acreage, that's different, and it's of course going to cost more. So definitely make sure that you keep those documents available. I believe the title company can put that on a USB for you, whatever. But keep it handy, keep it locked up in your
Safe.
do
Somewhere where you know it will be because you will want to sell your house eventually, or you may want to refinance. And that's another point that I want to drive home. When you are wanting to refinance, I'm going to ask you for that survey. And so I don't want you to have to pay again for a new survey. So let's keep the survey somewhere where you can remember to have it, okay? And in addition to that, I would say you also, because you've just purchased a home, a lot of times I get customers and they say, "Oh my gosh, my credit score dropped, Cherie. I thought you said my credit score wasn't going to drop." Listen, anytime you obtain new debt, your credit will drop. And what's happening is your credit is going to, the creditor is just looking to see, are you going to make your payments as you had before? You just grew debt by hundreds of thousands of dollars. So your credit is going to take a little bit of a hit. Once you start making your payments and you prove your payment history again, your credit score will go back up and it will most likely go up for the better because a mortgage is a big deal on your credit profile. So don't panic. Your credit score is going to go up. It takes, probably 6 months at the max for all that to happen. It could happen sooner, but give it 6 months before really get concerned. Okay, you'll see it go back up. So that's another thing that I would try to advise you guys. Let me think of what else I wanted. Oh, yes, when I said refinance, listen, stay in touch with your real estate agent and your lender because there are going to be things that come up for on my side of it. I'm going to most likely send you information on a monthly basis, just staying connected with you, but have my phone number programmed in your phone as Cherie, the favorite lender, my favorite lender, something like that, so that you can remember because you may get into a situation where you need to take some equity out of your home and you may want to do a home equity loan. You may need to pay for college expenses for your kids. You may want to need to pay for a wedding. You may need to do something and access some of that equity. Well, I'm the girl. Don't forget me. I'm going to get you access to it. That's what homeownership is about. Growing your equity, having that flexibility, getting access to it. So call me. We're going to talk about it. Of course, refinancing. If interest rates drop a point, that's when you need to start refinancing. If it's less than a point, and I would call these predatory lenders, but there are lenders out there that will say, "Oh yeah, let's refinance for a half a point." Please don't do it.
I mean, it costs money to refinance anyways.
It does cost money, and there are some programs, that we have that will waive our fees and things like that. But regardless, there are times of the year that make sense to refinance. There are situations that make sense to refinance. You want to go to someone that you trust that's not just trying to look for a paycheck and
A
take.
situationship. You want to stay away from the situationships.
Yes.
Mm.
I'm not sure what that means. I have not heard that yet, Nicole. What is the situationship? But I'm gonna go ahead and say yes.
It sounds like
But
it's predatory lending is what I'm equating it to. So stay away from that kind of thing.
okay,
But you want to be in touch with the lender that is going to steer you in the right direction and not just look for a paycheck. What you're saying is interest rates, their interest rate, if they got a 6% interest rate, it needs to be at a 5% before
right.
it makes sense to refinance.
At least, and if it's not a point, it's very rare occasions that I would say to refinance. And so if you talk to me about it, I'm going to break down the numbers. You're going to see these predatory lenders sending you mail saying, "Hey, we can refinance you to," if it looks too good to be true. I tell people, Google it, national average interest rates for a VA, FHA, whatever. Look at the interest rates. If the lender is telling you something way out of market, something's going on, guys. People don't work for free. Money ain't free, especially when you're borrowing it for 30 years. Geez, I mean, you got to think about these things because it's your money that you're tacking on to, and they'll tell you all the time, oh, you can just roll it on top of the loan. Yes, sure you can. You're going to roll $10,000 and $10,000. I mean, do you ever want to pay the house off? So we want to get
So you'll
to,
finance it for 40 years. You signed up for 30 and now it's 40.
yeah, now it's 40. I mean, because you're starting all over. I mean, listen, refinance if it makes sense. You know, you're saving, hundreds of dollars. Let's do it. I'm here. I'm here and want to do that and help you. But I'm not gonna, just take your refinance to, put a number on the families that I've closed. Like I don't. That's not my goal here. My goal is for you to understand what you're doing, for you to see the numbers, for it to actually make sense, and not for you not to be surprised later on when you can't sell your house because you refinanced twice and you rolled in $20,000 on top of the sales price and you've only had the home, 3 years.
I appreciate you having a conscience.
Yes, ma'am. You can count on me for that. You can count on me. That faith thing, it gets you, it'll be keeping you in line to straight and narrow. So that works out for your benefit, for our customers. Obviously, we want to make sure that you're, saving money. So um, I think for the most part, that's really, the gist of the savings and the information that I have, to save y'all some money, to get you out there and making smart decisions because that's what we do.
So true.
So we're going to wrap it up. Go ahead. You know.
Okay, and if you love today's episode, like, subscribe, and share this. Share it with your friends. We'd love to talk with you. If you want to be on an episode, if you have financing questions, real estate questions, buying, selling, let us know. DM us today.
Until next time,
Keep dreaming big,
plan
planning
it
smart.
smart. And remember, with the right team, you hold the keys.
Bye.
Bye.